Welcome back to the show that's cool and fly too. A1 Forever Sports, and I am Chris Tip Moore. This is a Full Sail alumni right here, man. Mr. Jonathan Richardson, man. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you, man?
Man, every day is a great day. Can't complain because it wouldn't do any good anyway.
That's right. For sure.
Yeah, man. So yourself, man, can you just illustrate like what gave you the idea to even join Full Sail University and the sports broadcasting program?
Yeah, that's a long story. So I'll give you somewhat of a condensed one.
Okay.
In like 2014, I started my journey at Morehouse College. Um, Started and stopped because of financial issues. I kind of went there consistently from like the year 2017, 2018. And then got into some more financial issues. I got frustrated and tired. Also combined with being a psychology major, I don't like statistics. I basically took statistics and failed. I was like, I don't want to take this again. This sucks. So I quit. I quit Morehouse. That was a hard decision for me, but I was just frustrated. I was just tired. And then in 2018, summer 2018, my sisters told me about this program at a local college, Clayton State University, about learning video editing. So I was kind of like, am I good at that? Like, I don't know. Like, do I really want to try that? And I was pretty natural at it. My instructor, Randy Hill, he thought that I was lying, saying that I've done it before. And I'm like, no, I've never touched editing software before in my life. I have done something with like Illustrator back in high school, but nothing like chopping video and putting it in a sequence and doing color and syncing video and audio, like none of that. I go and I learn some more stuff at Clayton State, videography, camera work, um, just being a grip or a gaffer. Um, and so for a year, 9 months, I was just working as a contract worker around Metro Atlanta, being a grip, being a gaffer, being a production assistant, being a videographer, being an editor, basically everything that has to do with media, shooting high school football games, stuff like that. And then COVID happened, so 2020. So I knew that it would be harder for me to continue my journey without an education, without a degree. I had a brother-in-law who did not have a degree, and he told me that it would be hard. It was harder for him because he didn't have that. He had the experience, but he didn't have that solidified like object to say that they knew that certain thing. Um, I was talking to my family, especially my sister, because she was ready to go to school also to get her master's in social work. And I was like, I think this is the time to go back to school. In my head, I always felt that that time during COVID was a reset for the world. And so for me personally, I felt it was a time to reset my life. And so I did. It took me a while. So COVID happened like March. So it took me about till end of July to call Full Sail. Before that, I saw a YouTube video and I heard Dan Patrick. I was like doing something while the ad ran, and I heard Dan Patrick's voice, and I looked up, and it was about Full Sail University, Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting, and I was like, okay, let me take a look. I was looking at other schools more so for film. I wasn't really looking for anything that's like sports journalism or just journalism period. I was more looking more so for film. I called and it wasn't like I had a choice. Like in that hour and a half I talked to the recruiter or whatever they were, I was a full sale student. So I didn't really have a choice. It was very weird.
Just
It was
dove into it, man, and just, hey,
yeah, yeah. I didn't
I
really
look at you now.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and I always knew that um I wanted to do something with sports. My end goal, my overall end goal is to be a documentary filmmaker, but more focused on sports stories that aren't normally told. Kind of like Last Chance U. That's like one of my favorite series, especially the last one with basketball. It was really good. But
That's
stuff like
pretty cool.
that. Um, and so a lot of people didn't understand that. And so, especially in the film industry, they're more so about blockbuster films or having Oscars and Emmys and, all that stuff, which I totally understand. But I wanted something a little different. And so, yeah, Full Sail appealed to me because I thought that it would teach me certain skills that I probably wouldn't have learned if I didn't go. So, like speaking on camera, I still don't like it. I still prefer not to be on camera. But it's taught me a certain confidence that I think I could transfer into other occupations within media. Um, Certain things like a production assistant at ESPN or someone at Turner could have like doing a shot sheet or doing a rundown, certain things like that I could transfer and I could just add to the skills that I had previously in my life. So um yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if I said a lot or not
No, I
enough,
mean,
but
shoot, man, you outlined a lot and you really answered a lot of questions that I already had. So, I mean, that's actually was great. But I do have this one question though.
mm,
For you, just for you, which courses you can say, man, these were my toughest, let's say 2 or 3 courses, and then these courses over here, it just seemed like I'm not gonna say easy, but it came like kind of natural to you.
I'll start with the hardest.
Huh? Bad
Um,
news first kind of a guy, I believe that.
yeah. The hardest classes I had was Portfolio 5. That's with Gordy. Um, that's you perform you are reporting live. Or you're going well for our case being online students, we're simulating
Right.
it to be live. That was very hard because I challenged myself to be outside in the elements with cars coming, people walking. Other people didn't do that. That's them, but I wanted to challenge myself and do that. That was really hard. He really, really stuck to his word. He said that if you get through my class, you basically graduated. And even though Portfolio 7 with Rishi, that was hard. That was really, really hard. There was a an assignment where we have to do a 6 o'clock and an 11 o'clock. So basically 2 shows in one. Um, so we
I
have
haven't gotten
four.
that far yet.
Yeah. So we have to have 4 or 5 stories per show. And they have to be in a limit of, I think, 3 minutes or 4 minutes. I think it's 3 minutes because our whole entire show has to be at least 6 minutes. I believe so. So yeah, that was really hard. That was really hard for me. Really after Portfolio 5, it got into gear where it's like, okay, now you're a professional. Um, it's time to kind of change gears, like, and kind of put through the fire.